Hello everyone. All right, so this is my first time doing an Instagram live in a really long time because I think the last time I tried to do an Instagram live, I had trouble saving my video and I wanted to upload that video to YouTube, and then I don't know, like it's just too much technology. So hopefully I can record this video here on Instagram Live, and then I can hopefully download this and upload it to YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I did it. I figured it out. And so I'm really excited to come on here. Hello. And to talk about this topic. I don't think there's a way for me to title this video. I will do my best to post this video to my IGTV here because this is an important message that I want to talk about and bring forward today. And I just feel really called to speak on it, okay? So if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, my name is Steph Ventura. I am the Psychic Soul Alignment Coach. I work with spiritual people and spiritual entrepreneurs to help them to do very deep levels of healing known as inner work, shadow work, inner child healing. And as my clients do these very profound levels of healing, they're then able to more powerfully align with who they are on a soul level, on a higher self level, and they're able to navigate life with so much more ease and grace and create more of what they desire in life much more effortlessly. That's how I help people, okay? On my YouTube channel, you can find content on those topics of mindset, manifesting, spiritual entrepreneurship, healing, spiritual activism, my personal experiences, and just whatever else I feel called to share on YouTube. And that's generally where I, put my content. And so if you're watching this video from wherever you're watching it from and you enjoy it, make sure to go follow me on YouTube because I don't always upload my videos or do videos on Instagram, for example. So yeah, you can find me in all the places as Steph Ventura Coaching, okay? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. I also have a Facebook community, so you can reach out to me there. The links to that are in the description of my YouTube videos. No, in the comment section of my YouTube videos. And I think there might be a link on my Instagram that leads you to that. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, let me get into my topic, okay? My topic today is on the following topic. Let me see how I worded this earlier. So this video is titled, A Warning About the Online Psychic Space. And I really wanted to come on here and talk about this today because I think it's very important to discuss this and to raise awareness around this. So please, if you found after or as you watch this video, if you find it valuable, if you really feel like other people need to receive this message, please share this video out so that it really reaches people and people have this greater self-awareness around things that are happening in the online spiritual / psychic space, okay? So the reason I got inspired to talk about this is because recently I had an encounter with someone online who messaged me here on Instagram. That's why I chose to do the video live on Instagram, because this has been, I think, more common for me and I think for others more so on Instagram than on Facebook or other platforms. And so this person reached out to me, and when I looked at their name initially, it looked like this other account that I follow. Okay. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this person's following me. I already follow them. Well, that's cool that they're following me back, But then I decided to click on their name, their handle. And when I opened up their profile, it gave me the option to follow them back. And I thought, that's so weird. I already follow this person, don't I? Like maybe there was a glitch or some kind of thing with Instagram. Maybe it accidentally deleted me from their followers. So I'm just going to go ahead and follow them back. And then they messaged me and they were like, hey, love and light or whatever they said. I don't know. And then I was like, oh, hey, you know what? It's really late. I'm actually up later than I normally am. So I'm about to go to sleep, but I'll respond to you tomorrow. Cool. So then the next day happens. I wake up, I look at my messages, and I receive this message from this person. And basically, let me see if I can pull it up right now on my laptop. Basically, the message was something along the lines of, hold on a second. This is not the account. Maybe the other one got deleted. Weird. Anyway, basically the other person was saying something like, hey, you know, my spirit energy is like really high at this time or whatever, and my spirit energies are just drawn to you, and spirit has told me, you know, everything I need to know about you or whatever, and there's a dark energy around you, and something, would you allow me to give you a reading or something like that? Okay, so then I was like, well, yeah, dark energies are attracted to powerful light workers. Thank you, but I got it. You know, I'm going to handle it or whatever. So then immediately I go into my meditation, my journey. I start talking to my guides. I got pissed off personally because I know this kind of tactic already. It's already occurred in my life a couple of times already. And I know that that person was trying to prey on me. Like, first of all, the way that they messaged me, it just felt off. Like, the way that they wrote me, it just felt like English probably wasn't their native language, or they speak English in a different way. It just didn't feel like the person that I follow, the true authentic person that I follow, because I know that that person is a native English speaker. And so it just, the way that they wrote me, they expressed to me their, I don't know, guidance or whatever, it wasn't communicated the way a native English speaker would communicate it, okay? And then, secondly, like, because I've had previous experience with this, with, you know, African voodoo shamans or whatever, or other, you know, spiritual people out there telling me I got dark spirits, energies or whatever around me, and, you know, that they could, for whatever money or whatever, because they eventually get to the price. And then they're like, I can help you, I can do this for you or whatever. So I just knew something was up, and I was pissed off when I got this message, because I was like, what the crap? You know, like, why are these people doing this? Like, they're trying to prey on people that, you know, fall for this kind of thing because they're so naive, because they don't know better, because they see that that person is going through something, and in that moment they're disempowered. And so then this person, with the pretext of, I'm psychic and I can see these things that you can, and let me help you and stuff like that, like, they take advantage of these people who are maybe currently in a vulnerable place, and they do this kind of shady stuff. And so I was pissed off at the beginning, you know, my journey, and my guides are like trying to get me to calm down, because I wasn't receptive to the truth in that moment because I was so worked up. So once I finally calmed myself down, I, you know, was able to tune into the message, and I was like, okay, what is this really about? What's going on? And they explained to me that this person was a person that has certain, like, I don't want to say like bad energies, but just like energies that are not of the light. Okay, because in my personal beliefs, everything serves a purpose, even the bad things. And so this person had certain energies not of the light around them. And they just told me like a bunch of different things, right? And they told me like what I needed to work on for myself to like become stronger in myself, and what I needed to do and stuff. And they showed me, my guides like helped me to kind of like push away their energy and everything attached to them so that they couldn't come near me anymore. But that's the whole reason I wanted to come on here and talk about this, is because if you're on some kind of social media platform, but probably especially Instagram, but I've seen this a lot on YouTube too, like certain people that I follow on YouTube, certain like tarot card readers or astrologers, or those are like mostly the people that I notice it from. They'll have people create fake accounts and try to pass themselves off as these astrologers, as these tarot card readers, and then they'll prey on their audience, and they'll tell their audience like, oh, I'll read this for you or whatever, and just send the money to my account and whatever it is. And they're lying to people. They're taking advantage of people. And so this is why I felt called to speak up today and to talk about this, because it happens. It happens online. And when you are vulnerable and you don't know any better, you believe these people when they come and tell you this BS of like, oh, there's these dark energies around you or whatever, blah, 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 you know? And normally I share these kinds of personal experiences or whatever with my like private clients in my group programs or whatever, as it's relevant to their group program and the teachings I'm bringing forward in that moment or whatever, you know. But I really wanted to share it here because I think it's important that people are aware of this, that just because if you're getting reached out to by people and they're telling you that they're psychic and that they are seeing these energies around you or whatever it is, right? Especially if it puts fear in your heart, if they tell you like, oh, there's like this negative thing, or you have this karmic thing, or you're struggling with this and that, like on some level it might resonate, which makes you kind of believe it, because maybe you are going through struggles in that moment and you feel like life is hard, and then they're telling you like, oh yeah, well, this is the reason why. It's because you have a demon around you, or you have this around you, or whatever. And so in that moment you're more likely to believe them and to like be like, oh my God, yeah, like please help me, you know? And then they go and take advantage of you, right? And so I want everyone to, there's a child here. I want everyone to be very aware, you know, of the fact that there are people that are out here lying, and they're preying on vulnerable, naive, innocent people, especially those of us who are on this spiritual path and we're, you know, sensitive. We're sensitive to energy. We blindly believe things. And I just want you to really use your discernment. Use your discernment and your intuition, and don't blindly believe what these people are telling you. And yes, you might have certain dark energies around you, you know, potentially. That might be the case. But psychics of integrity are not gonna message you and speak to you in a way that puts fear in your heart. You know, like as soon as something I feel puts fear in your heart, then you gotta just, I don't know, use your intuition, your discernment in that moment to really discern, like, is this person really trying to help me or not? You know, because there are ways of communicating like bad news or difficult things in a way that is empowering for the person. It's a skill that sometimes takes a little bit to develop, but I can communicate things to my clients that maybe are like not good or whatever, but I empower them around that so that they're not afraid of it or whatever, right? And personally, like, I don't think any of the psychics that I know that are my friends that are psychics of integrity, they're not going to go around messaging people. First of all, we're not there reading your energy, okay? Because it's out of integrity to be reading people's energy. That's like literally like looking at someone naked. You don't just go around looking at someone naked. You don't go around like seeing all their business, okay? So people who are coming to you and saying, oh yeah, I see these things around you out of the blue or whatever, like who the hell gave them permission to do this? If they're already doing that without your permission, they're out of integrity. You need to like, that's already a red flag. That's already a red flag, okay? Secondly, like, if they're communicating things to you in a way that puts fear, oh, I see this demon, this dark spirit, can you give me permission to talk to your ancestors, please, to inquire what's going on with you? And then they come back and they're like, oh yeah, the God so-and-so said that this is what's going on with you and da-da-da. Like, that's all BS, okay? I don't even know what to say there, you know? I'm just trying to warn people here, and I hope you can get something positive out of this message, you know, whether that's to like be more mindful of the fact that these things happen and not let people take advantage of you, right? So true psychics of integrity are not purposefully like reading people's energy without their permission, and they're not messaging people and telling them like, hey, this is, you know, I read some things about you or whatever, found some things out about you, this is bad, you know, this is what's going on. Because some of these people will, it depends on what you attract, but I'm sure some people are like more forward, more aggressive in their approach, and they'll tell you like flat out, like they're blatant, or not blatant, blunt, and they'll tell you flat out like, this is what's going on, da 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 da, this and that. And then there are those people who are sneaky as hell. They're snakes. And they'll try to low key make it sound nice and sweet, and like they have your best interests at heart. Like this person tried to do with me. The way that they worded everything was like trying to be all nice and polite and respectful. You know, would you give me permission to give you a reading or something like that? You know, and I'm like, what? You know, and that's like a sneaky tactic. You know, this is all kind of connected to like narcissism in a way. You have like overt narcissists, and then you have the covert narcissists. So the overt narcissist is the one that you can like clearly see that they're narcissistic. right? And the covert one is like the sneaky one that like you don't know is narcissistic because the way that they're presenting themselves doesn't seem like they're narcissistic. But then when you really like see them for who they truly are, you're able to really get it. And so there are people like this who reach out to you and they try to like speak to you all nice and sweet and whatever. And they're like, oh, would you give me permission? Like, why is this person asking me for permission after they've already read my energy, apparently? And they told me flat out they read my energy, right? And so, but they try to say it in that nice way so that they're, you know, trying to look like they're of integrity or whatever. And so you have to watch out for these things, right? And you have to be aware of these things. Like, I'm only speaking about these things because I don't think sometimes people know. Like, I know sometimes I can be one really naive person because I like to see the good in people and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And that has gotten me into a lot of trouble and have made really big mistakes along the way. And this is why I'm sharing, because I know that there are more people out there in the world like me who just really don't know any better and don't know about these things. And so because they don't know about these things, they get themselves into some hot water. And that's what I'm doing my best here to try to prevent in this moment by speaking up on this, right? So that you can know what to look out for. And so there are people out there that try to seem nice in the way that they approach you or whatever, but they're not of integrity. They're not good people, okay? In the sense of they're not working in the light. And so, anyway, so then this person messaged me. Oh, I talked to my guides. I did the journey, got rid of these energies, worked on my stuff or whatever. And I felt better. And then what happened? And then, so that was that morning that I worked on that stuff. Later in the afternoon, once I got back from a lunch that I had with a friend, I got on Instagram, and I was scrolling just real quick on Instagram because I don't spend a whole lot of time on the internet. And I happened to see a picture of this like person who had messaged me show up on my feed. And I don't know why, but I felt pulled. There's a lot of times where just I naturally am guided by, I guess, my higher self to do certain things without me realizing it. And so I just felt guided to click on this person's handle. I click on this person's handle, I open up their feed, and then I see at the top of their feed that this person has 120,000 plus followers. So then I thought, that's so weird because the person last night who messaged me has 2,500 followers, right? So then I go back into my messages, I click open that message from that other person, and I open it up. And like effectively, like that person, it was a different account. It was a different account with the same other person's, like the legit person, like the same profile picture, the same Instagram feed. The only difference was like the follower count. And this person who was passing themselves off as the legitimate person had over 2,500 followers, right? That's 2,500 people that think that they're following the authentic person, the true like person who does have good intentions and is working in people's highest good. And so that's when I realized, oh, this is what's really going on. Like, my guides didn't tell me that this was a person who was passing themselves off as another. They didn't tell me that because maybe I didn't need to know that in that moment. Who knows? They don't always tell you everything. But they did tell me that this person who was passing themselves off as this other person, they told me that that person had negative energies around them. And so this is why I want to speak up, because if you agree to have people like this, people who are out of integrity, read your energy, tap into your energy, you're basically giving them permission to allow all these dark energies that are around them to come into contact with you. Okay? You got to be mindful of that, because we do live in an energetic spiritual world, and you have to be mindful. And so I want to tell you all this because this like false person here that I'm talking about, they had an energy around them that my guides kept telling me, like they have like a succubus around them. And if you had let this person read for you or get any closer to you, that succubus would have been feeding off of your energy stuff. This is what they told me. And so luckily for me, I'm at the level at which I can, like, I'm so much more empowered in my abilities. I'm not, you know, mortified or whatever of these dark energies. Like, I'm so much more in my power and I can handle these things or whatever. I can see them for what they are. And so then I realized, I thought to myself, like, oh my God, like, what about all the, like, innocent people out there on the internet who don't know any better, who think that these are legitimate psychics because they are tuning into certain energies. You know, these dark energies around them that are giving them psychic information, like they are able to receive certain energies and like give the fake psychic or the out of integrity psychic like legitimate information about the client. And so the client thinks like, this person's legit, this person is working for the highest good, like I can trust this person. And then they open themselves up to all the crap, all the dark energies or whatever that are around this false, like, not false psychic, but like this psychic out of integrity. This person, this, like, I don't know what to call these people, these kinds of people who are psychics, but they're not working in the light. What do you call these people? Is there a name? I don't know. But these kinds of people, right? You open yourself up to that. And so you have to be mindful of these things because you can't just let anyone read for you. You can't just let anyone touch your energy. Okay? Because then that's going to fall on you to correct that. Okay? You're going to have to fix that. Okay? And it's not like you need to be scared either. Okay? I'm not trying to scare you to be like, oh my God, yeah, like, what if in the past you did let people in and read for you who approached you in this way or whatever? Like, I'm not trying to scare you. You can push these energies out, you know, but you're going to have to, it depends on each person. Each person has their own unique path, lessons, things that they got to go through. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, you gave your consent for these readers who are not of the light to connect with you and to touch your energy. And as a result, the dark energies that work with them then have access to you. And so because you gave consent to that, now you have to go about saying, okay, I don't accept this anymore. And you have to connect to your light. You have to connect with your beliefs. You have to do your part to send these energies away. And you do have the power to. And if you want, you know, I talk about this more in depth in a video that I did on YouTube. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It was like a whole 3-hour long video that I did with someone from my Facebook community. Where is that video? It was long. Do I even see it here? Oh yeah, here it is. Let me see if I can pull it up so I can show you. Here is where I talk about this kind of stuff and what to do if it interests you. Like I said, it's a really long video. Use the settings button on the YouTube to increase the speed if it's too long for you, but here you go. This is what the thing is titled: Levels of Consciousness in Business, Toxic Relationships, Psychic Abilities, and Dark Energies, and more. And this is like a almost 3-hour long conversation that I had from someone in my Facebook community. And I addressed that, you know, a lot of times light workers think that, oh, because you're positive vibes and, you know, I don't know, positive vibes or whatever it is, that dark energies are not going to be attracted to you because your vibration is too high or whatever. This is not true, okay? My guides even told me when I was dealing with the whole situation, because the apparent succubus around this person that was not working in the light, the succubus had like their eye on me and was like, I'm going to try to get this girl. And I asked my guides, I was like, why? Like, what's going on in my energy to have attracted this? Because these dark energies are usually attracted to people when people are vulnerable, when they're going through difficult things. And at that moment, I wasn't feeling vulnerable, okay? Maybe the day before I was feeling a little bit low, but I worked through it and I felt so good. And I woke up that morning feeling great. So I couldn't understand why this energy had shown up in my reality, because I wasn't a match for it, right? I'm the kind of person that I teach my clients, and this is what I believe. Take it if it resonates with you, leave it if it doesn't, because everyone teaches differently and everyone is at this different stage of their journey and they have their own personal truths. But my personal truth is that we manifest everything. everything, and we have to be willing to take personal responsibility for our crap. Okay? And so when I manifest dark energies, I take ownership over that. And I'm like, guys, like, why is this on me? What's going on? And they'll tell me like, oh, because you were afraid of this, because you were doubtful, because of this, because of that. And they'll tell me what I did, my role in that situation, for why I became a match for these energies to try to hang around me or attach to me. And then I go about the process of working on that, clearing that, releasing it, moving on with my life. Okay. But this time I couldn't understand why, because I was like, I'm not feeling disempowered. I'm not like in doubt. I'm not in fear. Like, I'm feeling really good. So what in the world happened here? And they told me, well, Stephanie, you don't always have to be in these states to attract these dark kinds of energies. Simply by being the powerful, beautiful light that you are, you will naturally draw them in. You will naturally attract them sometimes. It's just part of being in this world of duality. You can't have, the dark without the light, and vice versa. And so I woke up, feeling great. I was feeling great, during that time. And I was just letting my light shine. And then this thing saw me in the spiritual, energetic world or whatever, and was like, hey, I'm going to try to get to her. But we're not having that, right? And so go watch that video if it speaks to you. That's where I help people, really much more empower themselves around all of that stuff, because I don't want you to live in fear, thinking you can't be trusting anybody out here anymore. No, this is about you learning to step into your power and discerning for yourself. Discerning who you work with, who you allow to touch your energy, who you follow, all of these different things, okay? You can't allow yourself to be, deceived, I guess? Or no, that's not the word. Like, you can't just let people, you can't just, how to explain it? God, help me have the words. Just because people seem of the light, because they're saying all the right things, does not mean that they're truly of the light. And empaths, starseeds, light workers, whatever label you use, okay, doesn't matter, so long as you're on the spiritual path, we all have to learn to discern and trust in our intuition, and to allow that to guide us to all the right people that we're meant to work with and follow. Oh my God, I totally noticed that my little wind thingy. Oh no, never mind. I thought it had come off. And so I'm also saying this because this week as well, I had an interaction with another very well-known, at least in my circle, spiritual teacher who's very successful and has worked with a bunch of people and has helped people get results and all that jazz. But then, we just had some weird interactions this week, and I did my inner work around that, because I was like, what is going on here? I wasn't triggered, but I was just like, what? I don't understand this person's behavior. I don't understand what's going on here. This is just so strange and weird. And I was just not fully on board with this person. I don't know how to explain it. Just my spidey senses were like, something's off here. So anyway, I did my inner work around that, released that. I get on Facebook and I see that this person posted something that was a blatant lie. It was totally false. And I was like, this person is a liar and I want nothing to do with them. I released them now. I've learned what I needed to from them. Goodbye. Unfollowed, unfriended, whatever. And I just moved on. And it just blew my mind, because this person has a lot of followers, but this person isn't a person who is, in my opinion, from what I can see, I'm not saying this because I know so much, I'm so enlightened or whatever it is. It's just objective truth. This person is not working in the highest good, is not a person that is in integrity, because they're lying. But yet they have all these followers, empaths, who blindly believe them because they have all these followers. They talk about spiritual things because they're psychically gifted or whatever. And it's you just give your trust over to people. And believe me, that's been a mistake that I have had to learn from like crazy. Okay. And for anyone listening to me, because I can't read your comments right now, I'm like trying to like say my things. I'll read through your comments in a minute. But, you know, I went through, okay, let me tell y'all real quick. If y'all don't know already, okay, I had a toxic relationship a couple years ago. It taught me a lot. I talk about it in my videos from time to time as it's relevant. And that person was a covert narcissist. Low key, like just, I didn't realize, I didn't realize until I was in too deep. And I'm not putting that on them because like I said, I take personal responsibility over a lot of my crap. And I recognize now why that person came into my life, what my role was in that, worked through stuff, moved on since then. Okay. But, you know, that person was just really good at painting themselves out to be the good person, the good guy. Like they had my best interests at heart and whatever. And like so their actions would sometimes like reflect that. And so then it was like really hard because, you know, they're outwardly they're outwardly being like a good person, but then they're doing all these other things like gaslighting me and like low key like manipulating me in other ways and stuff like that. And when I confront them, you know, they would make me out to be like the bad person or whatever. And so like my eyes were like, okay, you're being a nice person. But then my intuition was like, but they're not really being a nice person, you know, like I don't know. There was just like confusion for a long time because I was like, am I being mean? Am I being too harsh? I don't know, like what's going on, you know, because they're doing things that seem like they're nice and they care about me and this and that. But then they make me feel like crap and this and so like I couldn't understand. I had never been in that kind of dynamic before and I was just like confused, right? Because I wasn't really trusting in my own intuition and discernment that was telling me this person, even though they look nice and they're doing these things, they're not really good people and you need to get away from them. Like I didn't trust in myself. It was such a powerful lesson to learn in that experience. And so then I had to go about this process of learning to trust in myself and not take what people said or did or how they behaved at face value. Okay? And to really just lean into my own inner guidance and discernment. And then I had this moment where, you know, last year I had made friends with this person and they seemed really cool and whatever, but then they were just like liars. And then I found myself feeling so disheartened and sad because I thought like, you know, in that moment, I want to be love and light. I just want to trust everyone. I just want everyone to be good and for all of us to get along, you know? And I just felt so disheartened because I was like, oh my God, like, why are people so manipulative? Why are people so dishonest? Why can't people be truthful? You know, like, I don't want to live my life like not trusting people and live my life like feeling like I'm on guard, you know, because you never know with these people, like if they're really good or not. I don't want to live in this way. And I felt like because of these experiences with my ex and this other like friend that I couldn't trust people. Like I can't just be the person that I am, which is like to want to freely trust people and, you know, just give them all the trust in the world and trust that what they're telling me is like true and they're not lying to me or whatever. Like I just felt so bad, you know, that I couldn't live in my kind of like little utopia type of world where everyone's good and kind and honest. And then it's like my higher self stepped in and helped me see something that I wasn't seeing in that moment, which is why I want to share this with you, because I really hope that this helps anyone who sometimes feels disheartened with humanity or with other people because they're just, you know, deceptive or dishonest or whatever. My higher self explained to me that they were like, Stephanie, listen, you want to be, it's like a spectrum. You know, like you have the pH balance and it has the numbers and it tells you if it's acidic or whatever the other thing is, alkaline. It's kind of like that, where on the spectrum, you have light and dark, right? Whichever one, okay? And so this is going to be light for a moment. And so here, I want to be on the other end of the spectrum, which is light, where everyone is good, everyone is honest, everyone is truthful. I never have to worry about people lying to me, taking advantage of me, hurting me, none of this stuff. I want to be over here. But that's not the reality of things. That's not the reality of our world. Our world does have an opposing force. This is part of the duality. There are people who are dishonest. There are people who are, hurtful towards others and other things. And that's the other thing. But my higher self explained to me that I don't need to, I don't need to live in fear. I don't need to live in fear. I can live here, okay? Because my higher self explained to me, like, being on one end of the spectrum isn't better than being on the other. Being all light isn't better than being, all dark. Like, it's not good to be on the opposite ends. You got to find yourself in the middle, leaning towards the side that you want to be on. So you have to be leaning towards the light, because that's who I am. That's what I choose. But be very aware that this does exist. And the way that's going to help me navigate that is my own discernment and my intuition. And so that doesn't mean I have to continue living my life being fearful of like every, tarot card reader or psychic that messages me, or every friendship that shows up, or every relationship. I don't have to be there on guard, like wondering, oh my God, are these people going to try to hurt me? Are they lying to me? This and that. I don't have to be paranoid about it and afraid, but I have to be aware of the fact that, sometimes people have these not positive qualities. And what's going to help me navigate that is leaning into my own intuition and discernment and not taking things at face value. And so when it comes to the spiritual teacher that I just mentioned, right, or other spiritual teachers, and I even have a video on my YouTube channel. Dang it, why did I close my laptop? I have another video on my YouTube channel, and it's titled like How to Choose the Right Spiritual Teacher for You. So you can go to YouTube and find this video, okay? And if you're on YouTube, I'll link all of these in the cards. But, when it comes to like the spiritual teachers and stuff like that, you got to use your own intuition and discernment and not allow yourself to be led by the number of followers someone has, or, the fact that they're psychic or whatever it is. Like, you have to trust in your inner guidance and discernment, assuming that you're coming from a clean filter, that is. Okay. So you got to do your inner work, because sometimes if you're not doing your inner work will cause you to like not see things as they truly are. And so anyway, with this spiritual teacher that I mentioned, that person is not honest, not working in the light, but people blindly follow that person and trust that person, believe that person, simply because of the fact that, they've achieved a level of success and recognition. And I need y'all to be mindful of that. As people on the spiritual path, yes, good is what we're leaning towards, but we have to be aware that there are these darker energies, and we have to use our intuition and discernment to navigate who we allow to work with our energy, who we allow to read our, energy and what's possible for us in that moment, what's going on with us in that moment, and who we choose to follow and learn from as we go on our spiritual path. So I hope that all made sense. But, the whole purpose of me doing this video is basically to let y'all know that there's a lot of not good stuff happening. Or maybe not a lot, but there's just, it is what it is. There are some people out here passing themselves off as readers and psychics and things like that. And all I got to say to that is just, if you're going to go to people for psychic readings and energy work and all these kinds of things, like, make sure you trust the person that is reading for you. Make sure that you know that there are people that are doing the inner work, because just because someone is psychic does not mean that they're working with energies of the highest good, and that they're like psychics with the highest energy, if that makes sense, in terms of how to explain it, because I'm not trying to talk anyone down or anything like that, but like their development. Like, you can be open to your spiritual gifts, but that doesn't mean that you're developed spiritually, if that makes sense. So a lot of people can tap into psychic gifts, but if they don't do the inner work to work through a lot of things, it doesn't mean that they've evolved spiritually in terms of their consciousness to be a powerful, loving, force in the world for change, for positive change. I don't know if that made sense, but you know, basically that was the whole point of this video. I hope it helped. All right, who dis? Let me see. Let me go through the comments. Can we say people who are not much open to healing? I mean, different people are going to probably tell you different things on that, based on their own spiritual beliefs and perspectives and things like that. But personally, I don't mess with people's free will. If they're not open to healing, that's their path. That's what they've chosen. That's what they've, you know, decided for themselves. And I respect that. I just try to respect people's free will and the choices that they make in life and let them do them. And I try not to interfere in that, because that to me is working in the highest of integrity. Is, you know, you don't interfere with people's choices and free will, right? And if they want to heal at some point, then yeah, you can support them in whatever ways, providing information, doing work on them or whatever, when they're open to it, when they've consented to it. But if they don't want it, they're not open to it, then why are you going to violate that? That's the way I see it. Other people will tell you other things based on their beliefs. They'll say, yes, you can heal them. You just, you know, view them the way that you like to view them, or do this or whatever. I mean, you choose what you want to believe there and what you want to do there. But based on my beliefs, like, I wouldn't interfere. I'd just be like, okay, cool. That's your choice. That's your life. You know, that's what you've come here to experience, and I let that be. You're so welcome. I'm glad that this video helped you. What about people who don't know all this? How can they protect themselves? That's why I recommend the video that I talked to you all about on YouTube. The video that's like almost 3 hours long, where I talk about dark energies at some point in that video. I share there how you can protect yourself from energies that, you know, are not of the light. But you got to step into your power. You got to step into your power and know that your light is greater than the darkness, and you don't have to be afraid. And that's something I have to learn for myself again and again and again as I go on my own journey and I experience other things that initially put fear in my heart. But then my guides are like, come on, Steph, like, you don't have to be afraid. You know, you don't have to be afraid. And they remind me of who I really am, and I start reminding myself of who I am, and I let go of the fear, and I just keep it moving. So yeah, you're so welcome. I'm glad that this information really helped you. Yeah, I'm glad that this helped you so much, and it felt like I was talking to you directly. Conflict between intuition and conscious thinking. Yes, trust your intuition the most. 100%. Trust in your own intuition. Even if someone is putting on like a pretty mask and seeming like they're so wise, or they're so gifted or enlightened or spiritual or psychic or whatever, so good. They don't even have to be on the spiritual realm, just someone that appears to be so good. Like, you have to trust in what you feel and know, you know, and not allow yourself to get deceived. Don't live your life in fear. Don't live your life wondering like, oh my God, you know, because that's you disempowered. You're not really in your power. I've had to learn in my own journey again and again through all of this experience, or similar experiences, is to really just know that no one can ever hurt me or take advantage of me unless I consent to it. And that, luckily for me, you know, God, source, the power, higher power, has blessed all of us with intuition and discernment for us to be able to protect ourselves. Okay? So we don't have to be fearful of people taking advantage of us or whatever, and live our lives constantly worried about people's bad intentions towards us. We don't have to do that. Okay? Because when you're constantly worried about people's bad intentions and what they could do to you, how they could harm you and stuff, you're living in fear, you're disempowered. You're weakening yourself. You have to know your truth, which is creator of all that is, gifted you intuition, discernment for you to handle these kinds of energies that exist here, and they exist here because they serve a purpose, and that's okay. And to not be afraid, and just know like nobody can hurt you, because if you listen to your intuition, discernment, you already know what they're up to, what they're wanting to do, and because you know, like, you can prevent it. So what is there to worry about? What is there to be afraid of? Nothing, right? So that's you stepping back into your power. So anyway, I really hoped that this helped to anyone who listened live or the replay. If you watched this video on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, let me know that you caught this in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, your experiences, your insights, your questions on this. Maybe I'll do another video related to this at some point. I don't know. I speak to it as I feel called to, but I just really want people to be aware of these things and to not fall for the deception that happens, and to really just lean into their intuition, the discernment moving forward. Again and again, it's really important for us to trust in ourselves. That is what, Source wants for us, is to learn to trust in ourselves as we navigate these times. And so, I really hope that has helped you, and that you're not discouraged from getting psychic readings or support or energy support or anything like that. Just make sure that the people that you're going to are people that are, of integrity. They're working for your highest good. They don't put fear into your heart. These people are people who do the inner work. They're constantly working on themselves, constantly evolving, reaching greater levels of love and compassion and empathy. These are the kinds of people to work with. And so just make sure that you know who you're getting involved with, okay? And not open yourself up to just anyone, just because they have psychic gifts, okay? So just be mindful of that, okay? And that's basically it. I see a lot of butterflies these days, a lot. Butterflies are usually just the message of transformation. So maybe that's a message for you, that you're going through a process of transformation. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Please share out this video if it spoke to you, if you feel like it's important for other people to receive, to know about. That's my intention, is to just raise awareness around this. And I will talk to you in some other videos soon. I will be posting on Instagram another video that I just published on YouTube, and it's called 5 Mistakes That People Make When They Quantum Leap. So I will post that to Instagram within the next half hour or so. But it's already on YouTube, so you can go check that out. Check out my other manifestation videos on my IGTVs here on YouTube. That's basically it. All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys for your time. Bye.